Pleasant Park streets, look at the map, go to the mark sheets.
Start again.
Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. You can take me to Moisty Mire, but not Load Lake. I really want to chug with you. We can be pro Fortnite gamers. Pro Fortnite gamers.
That doesn't even sound like American Boy.
That's how it is. Those are the lyrics.
I know I'm
I
going
didn't write it.
I know, that's
I
not what
just
I'm saying,
sing
but this is
it.
my first time hearing the chorus.
Really?
Yeah.
I can do that.
I shut people up before they get to the chorus.
Joke's on you. That's my permanent brain.
Oh no.
Well, there's your cold opening.
yeah, I was just thinking that.
Take me to your Xbox, please.
Hi, I'm Dylan Horvat.
Sorry.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Billee Paige Harris.
What the fuck are you doing here? In my cousin's theatre.
I'm sorry. You put me in your car and dragged me away.
I did.
I'm sorry.
Alright, first of all, I'm gonna quiz you. What was the first thing you and I acted in together?
It was the biblical skit.
Damn it, I was really hoping you just got Heathers.
No, it's a biblical skit.
I really hoped you forgot about the biblical
No,
skit.
I
God,
want to
now we're gonna
sometimes.
talk.
I just remember the taste of raw coffee beans in my mouth. That was a mistake. It was that's an acting choice I regret. Fistfuls of coffee grounds in my mouth. It was not fun.
How many takes did we do?
Too many.
Like, not enough.
I think it was at least over 60.
The director just wanted Brandon and I to just keep ad-libbing.
Yeah.
It was just simply Billy, whatever your fucking character's name was. Like,
Robin.
we're worried. Robin, was it?
Robin.
Okay.
I think it was Robin.
Fuck, you remember.
I think it was Robin. I might be wrong. I might just be feeding you shit.
Just arbitrarily, Brandon and I being in suits, you walk in, and then him and I going, oh, Robin, we're worried about your coffee addiction, so we're going to give you the biblical, and that's all we did. You had these other scenes where you were hilarious, despite the script.
All I did was like drink coffee and then spill it on myself, and then they were like, yeah, you need help, and I'm like, yeah, I did. That's why I had this.
You did have this really funny delivery of this line where, oh, what else can you do with the book? And you're like, you can read it.
Yeah, you can read it.
And there's just interviews. This is like this right now.
Yeah, literally. Oh dear. But see, I do remember that. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I got you.
I was so, but I'm trying to think where we actually met before that, because we knew each other and everything. You came to see 1984 right before that I was in, and we're like, oh.
I think it was like a first proper like introduction.
Maybe.
But I think we'd definitely seen each other around at different shows that we were in or seeing or anything like that.
I first saw you in Greece.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to say Rock of Ages, but that was after Biblical.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
what
God.
what did you do between those two things?
I actually didn't do anything in between the end of Greece and start of Rock of Ages.
Oh, okay.
Is because I just finished year 12 and I was just starting university when I got into Rock of Ages. So yeah, it was probably a few months after Greece closed that Rock of Ages held auditions and started rehearsals. So then I started that. That was basically back to back. But yeah, I didn't do anything in between that actually, which is surprising for me to hear that now out of my own mouth.
I'm just trying to think, because I definitely met you before 1984 in Biblical.
I know, blanking.
Because I didn't meet you after Greece or anything.
Yeah.
That's just where I remember,
See.
you know.
Because that was my first community theatre. That was my first theatre outside of high school was Greece.
Okay. Oh, sweet. So
Yeah.
I've been following the Billee Harris middle school theaterography for the entire time.
So unless you unfortunately came to see any of my high school plays, I doubt it.
I didn't. The only Whisper shows I've seen are Crucible and Cosy.
Fair.
And they were plays, but you weren't in.
No, I wasn't. I was graduated and well gone by then. So.
Fair enough.
Were you in King and I?
No.
Which was your first one?
What if she said yes and then we
My
get
first one that I got into was Legally Blonde, But then I didn't do it because I was having a lot of family issues. And then the first musical I actually did with Whisper was Les Mis, and that was the year that I graduated.
Wow, so you didn't even do Pirates?
Nah. I auditioned for all of them, but
Oh, wow.
they didn't start wanting me until my dad started doing photos for them, so.
When was Les Mis?
2017.
I knew you were in that, but
May?
that must have been later, actually. So anyway, since then we've done Heathers together.
Yes, I'm working on Twisted.
Yeah, and we've been working on Twisted together.
Oh.
Alright, I'll quiz you further. What was the one interaction you and I had in Heathers?
It was when I stole your wallet.
Yep.
It was when I stole your wallet, and then I ate your money.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So I went to go see
Sorry.
Avenue Q at a soap opera, and they had this really great thing where, like, in the "Give Me Your Money" song, like they'd have thanks,
Your
Jarrod.
name was that a shot?
Yeah. They have customary like dollar bills with the Avenue Q characters' faces on them fall from the ceiling, but like actual like paper money. And I grabbed one and kept one as a souvenir for 6 years. So that was the closest thing I had to an American dollar bill. So I used that for a prop in Heathers when I was the principal, and Billy was
Just ensemble.
yeah. But all the ensemble characters had like.
Oh, basket case misfit.
That's clearly based on Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Ali Sheedy?
Something like that.
Ali Sheedy, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
Alison.
The actress's name.
Oh, I don't know the actress's name.
Ali Sheedy, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We were directed that she'd steal my wallet from my back pocket, and then because she liked playing characters with oral fixation, she would then take the money out and start gnawing on it.
Not gnawing on it. I put it in my mouth so that like I couldn't be seen with it. So I'd like put the money in my mouth and then ditch the wallet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I put the money in my mouth and then I'd eat your wallet on top of the lockers and run away. And I thought that you would just like randomly print it off, just like a note. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. He's got this just for me. And I ate your fucking. I felt so bad when you told me about it. I was like, I'm so sorry. It's been in my mouth so many times. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm still very sorry about that. I felt so bad. I was like, oh.
It was like $1.
I know, but you were just like, yes, that was actually a thing that I had in there for a reason. And I was like, my bad.
Look, you made up for it by making me the tearaway pants.
Yes, oh god, that was a nightmare.
One quote I'll never forget when you're trying to help me put the pants on. He's like, God damn it, stop having an ass!
Yeah, I had to say that to you and Brad. I was like, this would be so much easier if none of you had butts. I don't think we've been in anything else.
We've both been cast in things directed by our cameraman here.
Yeah.
What?
That are TBD.
Classified and Street of the Week.
Things that don't exist.
Yet.
Classified.
That was the spy one that Cuff wrote.
And you were the library girl who yells because they're not being quiet in the library.
I forgot about that!
Everyone did. We did.
I didn't. I was henchman too.
Because I remember reading that and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. And then...
You wouldn't think that like a stock standard librarian go shush scene would be funny.
No, because
But it was, right?
It was about me going absolutely apeshit at these people. Because I don't think I was the librarian, I just think I was studying
Yeah.
at the library. And I was
that's
just
right.
like, I can't study at home because like my brother's playing music or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought this would be the one quiet place, so can you shut the fuck up? And then like the librarian kicks me out for making too much noise. I think.
That's right.
I think you just storm out.
I hope. Well,
Well, that's right, because then the characters, Henry and Brogan, go, do you mind? You're
Yeah.
in the
And then
library,
have
be
a-
quiet.
yeah, and then
you
have
go,
a skits
and then
and
you
leave. Yeah.
skid
well,
out.
if it isn't the librarian kicks you after being too loud, that's what it is whenever the fuck I get my hands on an extra.
I forgot about classified.
That's what I'm here for, to remind everyone they're in classified.
Thanks, because otherwise got nothing.
Yeah, look out for when we get back on that one in 2069.
Nice!
Mems 426.
Henchman number 1 is currently in his 50s. He'll be dead by then.
Not my problem.
It's just a casket.
And you're not in Cuff's voiceover Phoenix Wright series, are you?
No. Maybe?
I don't think you are.
No.
That would legit surprise me if you're like, no, wait a minute.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. You can't be in all of Cuff's projects
I
that
know.
he refuses to actually do.
Yeah.
So we've heard a lot about your theatre stuff in the previous interview. What's
Yeah.
the film stuff you've done?
A lot of the film stuff I did was with my dad, who owns a media marketing company. So we used to do a lot.
Starstruck?
It's Starstruck now, but it's been through about 20 iterations. Actually, no, it's Split Focus now. Split Focus
Okay.
Media, and then but previously it was Starstruck, and before that it was J-Bears. Yeah, so I did a lot of like ads and like short films with him when I was younger, because like anytime he or any of his crew needed a child performer, they were like, yoink. So I did things for Headspace. I did his film, which got like top 10 in Trump Fest, like 2008.
Come with me, sweetheart.
But yeah, a lot of this stuff was like when I was very, very little. So that was my kind of like first introduction to like film. The most recent thing I've done was, I can't even remember what it was called. Oh my god. It was the one that Turnbull and I think Lavelle wrote it.
Oh, Perfect Crime.
Perfect Crime, that was it. Where I just came on, did really shitty improv for like 30 seconds.
Donald
and then-
Trump impression.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
A
you
really
die.
awful Donald Trump impression.
Hello, I Donald Trump. Need to go to the doctor's I sure hope.
And then had to lay on the cold ground in the middle of winter and nothing but a skirt and a shirt for about an hour. So I was just laying in a pool of fake blood for an hour. Just like that. And I got paid for that, so that was nice.
You were really funny in that.
Thank you, I was dead for most of it. It was
I
the
don't
best
think
acting I've ever done. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it because I just remember being very cold. It was so cold.
Cuff was in that too, and
Yes.
he was the last person I interviewed, and he says that he hasn't done any acting that has been paid for. That lying bitch.
For a professional, I've done a few improv gigs at bars and whatever that have been paid in the past. The verdict was paid work.
Other film stuff. Yeah, again, just a lot of things that are kind of on the back burner for the moment. We had to do like a short YouTube series for one of our assignments for uni, which I showed you.
Yes.
Toothbrush Graveyard. So I was in that and had to do all the camera work for that as well.
How many times do I shit in a day?
I'm sorry, you don't actually expect me to know that, do you?
Connor shits twice a day.
Lachlan shoots 4 times a day.
Pat the first Tuesday of every month.
And Billy, never. 'Cause she's a girl.
And then just like a lot of stuff through uni, just doing film things, a lot of self-tapes for auditions and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's probably the most film stuff that I've done at the moment is self-tapes. There's so many of them. They're so tedious. It's so tiring. I can't. Anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, I've never done any self-tapes or anything like that.
Yeah.
So what's Page 9's future? So you said the Summer Dreams
Summer
one.
Dreaming, so that's coming up in June. I've got a lot of other projects that I'm writing at the moment that I would love to eventually be something, but it's kind of like I just do not have the forethought or the memory to think further than like 6 months in advance. There's a sort of TV series that I'd like to eventually pitch via Page 9 Productions to a bunch of people that I'm working on. Sorry. But yeah, so I'd eventually like to get that up and going. But yeah, whether it becomes something eventually or not is another thing entirely. But yeah,
Well, Page 9, that you only started that last year, right?
this year.
This year? Well, there you go.
Yeah, technically. So
Although, I will most likely be...
it was started in 2021, let's put it like
Yeah, yeah.
It started in 2021, depending
As we say this year has 3 weeks
I know,
left.
don't say that to me. I can't handle that. I don't
And-
have the emotional capacity to hear those words.
And because he said that she conjured the clouds.
It was
you're
in
like,
January.
I did that last year, and I was like,
January 2020.
yeah. Because I'm like, by the time this video goes up, that'll
Yeah.
be 2 years ago. That's 2 years ago next month.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that to me. Oh, that makes me physically sick at that thought.
God,
No,
can you believe we were in rehearsals for Heathers 3 years ago this month?
that's wild. Yeah, that's freaking mental.
Wow, Greece was over 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But four?
More
Yeah,
than
4.
that.
2017. So
I don't know how to do maths. That's sorry, I'm just dumb.
So yeah, Page 9 started this year. So
Yes.
all you've done so far is 10 days and counting.
We were originally going to do something in a part something in association with the studio that I teach with. We were going to... Sorry. We
You
were
want to
going...
tell me how to spell that?
So we were going to do, in association with Encore, we were going to do something, a youth theatre production called A Show on the Way to Nowhere, which was something that I'd written for the kids that I teach as a chance for them to get like a proper, like to perform something more than just like 10-minute like short plays and things like that. So we were going to do that before we went into lockdown. That was meant to go up in August, and then that kind of fell to pieces, unfortunately, and it's kind of uncertain whether it'll be going up again or not. But yeah, that's that for the moment.
Yeah, what's page 9 name derived from?
Okay, so this is again a little bit of like, oh, go me. But so Paige is obviously my middle name, and I have quite a strong affiliation with my middle name as opposed to like my last name. But also a 9, it comes from it's pieced from a couple of things. So 1, my middle name, 9 is my lucky number, and also the first role that I got out of uni after finishing a theatre degree in performance and like theatre making and things like that. The first role I got was Joan, and on page 9 of the script there's a line that says, "There is something about her."
Did you say there's something about it?
So that was kind of, yeah, so I kind of wanted to channel that into creating the arts to be like, there is something about it. So that's kind of what I started, how page 9's name came about.
Okay, cool. But Joan was the first role you got?
First proper role that I got outside of university, yeah.
So what are we counting as a proper role? Oh, so you mean first after you graduated? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, first like role that I got after I graduated, not necessarily just ensemble.
So wow, that was, when did you get cast in that then?
So I got cast in that one.
You are an idol fellow.
That was in...
Because I remember congratulating you and everything.
That was in like February, I think I got cast in that.
Damn.
And
so then you're like, quickly name the company.
Well, I was struggling for ages to find a name that was 1, available, and 2, like wasn't just like some random thing I pulled out of my ass. So, because
Billee Harris Productions.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to do was just be like me, a production company by me, for me, about me.
BPH, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to create something like naming things is quite important to me, especially like characters and places and stuff like that in the settings.
Me too.
So I wanted the name of the production company to be important, and then when I kind of saw that, it kind of just really fit. And like I said, I saw that and I realized 9 was my lucky number. Like remembered that 9 was my lucky number, and then page 9, I was like, it's like all the pieces have connected. And I was like, quickly jumped online to see if that was something, and it wasn't. I was like, lock it in, Eddie. Yeah, bought the licensing for that name and everything like that. So it's like, yeah.
And then immediately put on 10 Days in Counting?
Yeah, so 10 Days in Counting was happening before I had a name for the company.
Oh, really?
So 10 Days in Counting, 10 Days in Counting had started rehearsals early February. And I'd been wanting, but we'd kind of been like workshopping the script with that particular group of actors in 2019. 2020, sorry. Years aren't real. Nothing is real. Time is
This
construct.
isn't real.
Nothing is real. I'm actually asleep right now. So, yeah, I've been working on that with them for a while now, and then when I put it up, I didn't want it to be just like a Billee Paige Productions or whatever it was. I wanted it to have my own production company name, and so that's, yeah, I was struggling for ages to find a half-decent name. And then found that, and it just kind of, like I said, everything kind of clicked into place, and I was like, quickly bought it, slapped it on all the ticket logos, all the posters and everything like that, and was like, cool, let's call it a day.
So you told us about thematically what you wanted people to take away from 10 Days Counting everything, but you never actually said what it's about.
Yeah, so this is kind of my big wanky art statement line that I use to pitch it to all the other theatre companies, is 10 Days in Counting is a 90-minute play, 80-minute play.
I'm glad you...
10 minutes of it was garbage. It was an 80-minute play that explores 4 strangers as they walk the thin line between autonomy and fate. So it's just kind of talking about like what the different... It's the idea of what would you do if you found out you only had 10 days to live, and kind of what would you strive to achieve in those 10 days, and how does that kind of affect you? like, and then again, that kind of idea of how much control do you have over your own life, or how much of it is pre-planned, and just that kind of ideology, and how different people might view that situation. So, yes.
But again, that's more thematic, so plot-wise...
Plot-wise, it follows Cecilia, who is a struggling writer, who gets a note saying that she has 10 days to live. And then it's kind of those 10 days of her desperately trying to, one, figure out who's threatening her.
So it is a death threat.
Yeah.
I saw it. Just fresh memory. Yeah.
Figuring out who's threatening her, and figuring out that if the threat is real, what will she do in 10 days? Like, how does she... Like, if she wants to be this big writer, how does she write something important and groundbreaking in 10 days? And what does she write about? And things like that. And so through all of those kind of, a mix of intrinsic and extrinsic forces, she kind of forces her way into a couple people's lives, and then connects all their stories through their own understanding of their mortality and things like that. So, yeah.
Alright, tell us more about Summer Dreams, actually, and what that's actually going to be about.
So, yeah, I wanted to focus on, this actually happened, and I probably shouldn't say, it's the Shakespeare M play. This is a new theatre, and I don't want to curse it accidentally.
This company has put on that play and is still doing it.
Okay, yes, but I just don't want to say it, because the last thing I want to do is for me to say it and then, like, something breaks here. So
There's props from it right there that
I know.
You probably can't pan to because of lighting and everything.
Just added a caption down there. So, yeah, I was reading something in that. I was reading that play, and there's just
The M word.
The M word. I was reading that play, that Scottish tragedy, and I read a line that just made me laugh harder than I should have laughed at a Shakespeare tragedy. It was just like when he like picks up a child, one of the guards, like a miscellaneous guard picks up a child and is like, "What, you egg?"
Oh,
it's quite like a famous line.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
an
just like,
infamous line.
and my brain just thought like that moment was so funny to me. Could you, if you wanted to, translate a tragedy into a comedy? And then later on, that developed into could you translate a comedy into a tragedy? So it explores a lot of the darker themes of A Midsummer Night's Dream that I kind of brushed over for the sake of comedy. That like this kind of loss of bodily autonomy and like the corrupted use of magic and sort of the
loss of bodily autonomy.
So in the sense that like when Lysander, Demetrius and Titania are spelled, they don't actually have control over what they do.
Okay.
It's kind of like they're forced to love. They're forced to
Right.
love someone and do the things that they do for that as a spell, but they're very much not consensual to that.
Yeah.
So kind of exploring that idea and kind of the even a little bit of like the way that women are controlled in this thing, like especially really kind of exaggerating the relationship that Hermia has with her father and by consequence Demetrius, and exploring those kind of themes. So yeah, I don't want to give too much away because like it's just exploring a lot of the darker themes. It's going to be pretty funky. Like I really want to make like I want to go back to the roots of Titania and Oberon and the fairies and Puck all looking not human, things like that. So making it just a little bit funky, a little bit creepy, and just kind of making people aware of some of the things that we kind of gloss over when you can laugh about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still funny bits in there. Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, darkness and death and sadness and all
That's
of
pretty funny.
It's really funny. It's hilarious. So yeah, there are still comedic moments to help lighten the tension of the play. But
as everything should be. It should have, in my opinion.
yeah, it's been a big writing challenge for me because I've kind of put myself under ridiculous constraints for no particular reason. As a part of Shakespeare's, like when you do like proper in-depth studying on the writing of Shakespeare, you learn that the reason that he rhymes is for two things. One, when a character is under some sort of magical force. So it's why in all of his Shakespeare, in Midsummer Night's Dream and Tempest have the most writing, is because they've got elements of magic in there.
Most writing.
Rhyming,
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Rhyming. Thank you. They have the most rhyming in there is because he uses it to showcase magical elements, or when someone's in love, is often when he uses rhyme, is because, again, he views magic as like love as like a magical force.
I'm learning today.
I know. So Shakespeare has a lot of really clever things in the way that he writes, indented into like even just the pattern of which he writes. Like it goes so much deeper than iambic pentameter and everything like that. So I'm kind of playing on the sense that Oberon, Titania, Puck, and the fairies all speak in rhyme. Then when Lysander and Demetrius are spelled, they speak in rhyme. But subsequently, when Titania is spelled, she speaks in almost rhymes. So it breaks her magic to show that she's under some other force. So it's been a big challenge, but I've actually really enjoyed kind of working on that constraints, just really, really playing with language, because that's something that's really important to me and something that was like so deeply rooted in Shakespeare's work that I feel like to create an adaptation thereof and not be aware or cautious of the structures that he put into place would be disingenuous. So yeah, I'm just kind of highlighting the things, because like when you read Shakespeare, it reads in a certain way, and sometimes you gloss over the fact that he uses rhyme quite deliberately, and uses like beats and measures and like feminine endings and all of those kind of stuff, like very deliberately. And if you don't learn about it, then you don't notice it. But then once I learnt about it, I was like, wow, I've got to highlight this in a certain way. So that's what I wanted to do with Summer Dreaming, on top of kind of dealing with the darker themes and making it just a funky piece of theatre.
We do like funky.
We do like funky.
It's impossible to list the character names in Midsummer Night's Dream without sounding like an asshole.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing earlier.
I can only do it because of magnum opus.
Go.
Hermia, Titania, Philostrate, Oberon, Puck, Bottom.
The rest of them.
You've got Flute, Snout, Snug, Starveling, Lysander, Demetrius.
Oh, it's like, I know, my brother played Lysander.
Yeah. Then you've got,
Scornful Lysander.
if you're counting the fairies, you've got Peas Blossom, Cobweb, Moth and Mustard Seed. You've got Hippolyta, Theseus, and Aegeus.
Hippolyta.
So you're a fan of Shakespeare, huh? Name every character in the Midsummer Night's Dream.
I do. Midsummer is kind of my favourite show, so.
So how long?
Welcome back.
So when are auditions for that, Billy?
They'll be in early February of January. They'll be in early February of 2022. Oh dear Lord.
And this is the second video, so maybe this video will even be out by then. I'm very busy.
We all are. No, but you are especially.
That's more in terms of videos and everything.
Yep.
I actually, like I said before, knew your dad before I knew you existed.
Yeah.
Because I saw your dad and met him briefly in 2012 when he played Thénardier in Les Mis.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I ever saw Les Mis, and since then Thénardier has been my dream role.
Yeah.
So your dad inspired what
That's good.
has been my dream role for nearly 10 years now.
Yeah, nice. That's
So
good.
that was 9 years ago. So how old would you have been then?
12.
12, so you're 21 now.
Yeah.
You're only 21?
Yeah.
She's younger than you.
Yep.
You're a baby.
I know.
You're children.
I am children.
Were you
I'm actually several children in the trench coat.
I'm not surprised, but so were you only 18 in Heathers?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'd only just, I was about to turn 19 but in March of that year, but yeah, I was only 18
My
during Heathers.
goodness.
I know. Little baby Billy.
Imagine people that young being that talented. It shouldn't be allowed.
Stop.
Okay. You said that you've done Greece and everything, but you
Yeah.
haven't said who you were.
Okay, so I was Frenchie
Yeah, everyone
in
loves
Greece.
Frenchie.
Everybody
Let's
loves
talk about being
Frenchie.
Frenchie in Greece. You're a great Frenchie.
Oh, thank you so much. That was good fun. And that was a great learning experience too, just because she was very vocally draining and learning how to look after myself. But also she's just fun. She's kind of on another planet the entire show to everyone else. They were just like, wow, high school sucks. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to bounce. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, okay. So I bounced and I fucking failed beauty school. So I'm coming back. She's just on her own other planet. And that was really fun to play with too. So yeah.
Yeah, in Rock of Ages, you were
Constance.
Marlon Ackerman's role.
Yes, Constance. I was the reporter that made out with Stacey Jacks.
You got to sing Wanted Dead or Alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good fun.
And your iconic line of, I thought you were gay.
I thought you were gay! Yeah. Nothing but memes in that show.
You've got to give context to
Okay,
that.
sorry, I realised Yeah. So I had one line in one scene that was just that this guy's like, oh, but I love her. And I'm like, really? I thought you were gay. And every tech rehearsal, every show, my mic had never worked for that point. So I'd gotten just really used to just yelling it so that it could hit the back of the auditorium we were performing in.
Speaking, maybe yell now.
Yeah, so I just gotten used to yelling that line. And it wasn't until the very last night that they decided to get my mic on, but only for one word. So just the entire auditorium heard, I thought you were gay! And it was, we all had to kind of stop ourselves from laughing on stage. It was just a bit of a mess, but it's good fun. We love good theatre fails.
And the story you were telling me just the other night was a woman was outraged at Rock of Ages.
Oh yeah, so sex, drugs, rock and roll is literally like, I'm pretty sure that's like the tagline of the musical.
Yeah.
And so she came backstage and was like knocked down our stage door to like try and get a refund from our stage manager and all cast members because it was too inappropriate for her 12-year-old, which it said on the poster and on the website when you book tickets, recommended for ages 16 and above. And then yeah, so she was angry at us and mid-show was like trying to like hassle us all for a refund, and we're just like, that's really great, I'm gonna go be a stripper now, so talk to you later.
Hilarious.
Thank you.
Who staged? Was Kaya stage manager?
Yes.
Poor Kaya.
I know, poor Kaya. She did the best she could with that show.
Yeah. And what else have you done? So Ensemble for Heathers, your Iago and Twisted, which is great. Cruella de Vil.
And Cruella de Vil.
Against my Gazine and Genie.
I know, we
Although
love.
not that we act
Yeah,
together.
we don't really have a scene together,
At
which is
all.
sad.
Well, because I'm just Gazine and Genie, then really all I interact with is Tidris Jafar.
Yeah.
Except for the opening ensemble number, I guess.
Yeah.
And where are you during that?
I'm in it. I just.
Yeah.
I,
You're Iago, so.
Yeah, I'm the bird during that.
Yeah.
For half of it, and then I just
Yeah.
need him off stage and dance, and then go get him and come back on. So.
So what other notable roles have you done?
So I did Joan earlier this year. I did The Sun in Trail with Woods Road Productions, which I directed as well. That was good fun. That's like just any sort of like improv in that show was just awesome. It was just such a fun show to do. And such a good crew to do it with. It's like a really great literally a little show. There's only like 6 people in the cast. It's just wild. So I had that. I'm trying to think. So I did Grease, I did Rock of Ages, Heathers, Nalumbo, Trail.
I know I've seen you in more like
Trail.
musicals
Um,
that are popular.
Yeah. There's another mini shows and Short and Sweet. But we've done bits of Short and Sweet here and there. And I directed a show at the beginning of January 2020. Then I was in Damien's Wake.
Damien's Wake, that's something else I've seen you in, of course.
Yes, so that Damien's Wake. And at the beginning of this year, we did Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, that must have been.
Then I directed 10 Days and Counting, and then was in Joan, and then we went into lockdown, which is everybody's favourite time of year.
Just in time for St. Joan to finish, though.
I know.
But also 4 rehearsals before Twisted.
Twisted was meant to open, I know.
Oh, goodness me.
Stress.
Well,
I know.
January
I will
is the...
fist fight COVID if it tries to push Twisted off again.
Yeah.
Catch me in Macca's car park, COVID.
That's where it likes to spread.
I know, honestly. Freaking Macca's, malls and clubs.
So yeah, well besides Peter Pan, what are your other roles that you'd love to play? I know you've told me before Heather McNamara from Heathers.
I would love to do any of the Heathers really. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick Heather Mac, but I would love to do any of the Heathers. Thank you. I'd love to do anyone in Alice by Heart. I'd also love to direct that.
Alice by Heart?
It's another musical. It's written by the same guy who wrote Spring Awakening. I'd also love to do Spring Awakening. Rent.
Spring Awakening.
I'd like to play Wendell or Ilsa. Yeah.
Oh, Ilsa's barely in it, isn't she?
I reckon she's with her, but yeah. So then, what else?
You just said Rent?
I'd love to do Maureen in Rent.
Okay. Was that Cat?
Over?
To do?
Yeah. So Idina Menzel's character in the movie. I'd love to do a lot of Shakespeare roles I have. I'd love to do Desdemona, Lady Macbeth.
Desdemona in Othello.
Yeah, Lady Macbeth in Macbeth.
Lady Macbeth in Midsummer Night's Dream, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do Midsummer's again. I'd love to play Puck again. Like
Puck again.
if I ever got offered Puck again, I would take it in a heartbeat. I love that show so much. I'd love to do Beatrice in Much Ado About Nothing. I'd love to do Charlotte in K Tempest's. Sorry, freaking! I just had an aneurysm. Yeah. Just completely forgotten what it's called. K Tempest's.
Charlotte.
No, oh my, Wasted by K Tempest. Yeah. Yeah, so I'd love to do Charlotte in that.
Yeah, you've done Travel to Oregon and they're doing Twisted, so I
Yes.
imagine any Star Kids show.
I do love Star Kid just because I love the sort of fun parody of it, which is really great. Yeah, I'd love to do another Star Kid show. What else? I'll probably think of them in about 5 minutes. I'll be like, oh, by the way, in this.
Or Madame Thénardier. That you
I would love to
Which
be.
would-
I would love to play Madame Thénardier. Yeah.
After we talk about your dad playing
I know,
Mr. Thénardier,
I know.
Just following your dad's footsteps
I
as
know.
close as you can.
Yeah. I like playing. I guess I kind of like playing like the main musical theatre characters. They have all the like fun belty bits which are good. Obviously, Madame Thénardier is probably one of the older ones. Definitely won't be able to play her for a while because I'm small.
And just we established you're very young.
I know.
8 years my junior.
Sorry.
With you all just talking about like, oh, before turning 30, you have to do this, this, and this, and like, oh, I can't wait to do all that in the next 8 months.
Ooh, sorry. Ooh,
This bitch.
I'm sorry. Yeah, some of the older ones. Like I said, literally, as soon as you asked me this, my brain is like, no play or musical has ever existed. Now that you've asked me this question, ever. Nothing has ever existed.
Stop gaslighting me, Billy. No.
Yeah.
They exist. I was in them.
Peter Pan, I've probably got like a ticking time bomb on how long I can do that before I become freaking Ben Platt in the Dear Evan Hansen movie.
There's a lot of 50-year-old women from like
Yeah.
Peter Pan.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of all I can think about off the top of my head.
I guess I'm the same when I get asked that. Cause like,
I know, as soon as you get asked,
like,
it's...
here's the 3 I remember.
Yeah, there's
I
50
swear
more.
there's more.
Yeah. Yes. It is, yeah.
You all done then?
Yeah, I think something was going to come out and then it just didn't, so let's move on.
Oh, Street of the Week. Yeah.
Street of the Week, yes.
Thought it was going to come out, then it did.
Yeah.
Right, anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not really. I mean,
You covered it all.
I think so. Again, I'll probably remember something in the middle of the night. Be like, oh, just quickly, like, sure, like, text a voice for this response for this question that I just made.
Video yourself in
Oh, by the way, actually, quick interjection.
Which character would you want to be the text of voice?
I feel like Iago would probably make just thematically appropriate.
Gee, I guess what I'm editing in now.
Yeah.
Because Gilbert Gottfried's on one of those things.
That's true. He's on Cameo.
Oh, I just mean the...
Hey, cameo.
I was like, you can
Billee
say
Harris forgot to say this.
Billee Harris forgot to say this.
Page 9 Productions is putting on summer dreams. Auditions in early February.
Yeah, I guess come see Puffs and Twisted. Definitely Twisted. Please come see Twisted.
Hopefully.
Shameless self-promo. And come audition for Page 9 Productions. I forgot the name of the play. Summer Dreaming. I'm sorry.
Oh, Dreaming, sorry.
Dreaming, yes, Summer Dreaming.
Whoops.
As in dreaming in the summertime.
Thanks.
Sorry, my brain's turning off now. We're running out of brain battery.
What's the date you do? It's January 11th for Puffs, yeah?
It's the first 2 weekends of January. I
Is it
think.
gonna-
No, it's not. It's the second.
Just calm down.
I'm checking my calendar because I don't remember.
Because you could have fully like...
7th to the 15th of January.
I was way off. So
Me
yeah,
too, so it's fine.
You
It's like,
could fully be done with Puffs by the time this goes up. Well, not fully, because you got the April one.
The April
but
one.
That's the one I'm booked for.
Yes.
Oh, actually, well, tell us about who you play. I'm not sure who you play in Puffs.
Yes, so
So even on a personal level, I want to...
So even as, I don't know where that sentence was going. So I play Leanne, who is one of the Hufflepuffs, but then pretty much everyone also doubles as a bunch of like the iconic characters throughout the film series and book series and stuff like that. So I also play Ginny, I also play Frenchie, which is Fleur Delacour. Yeah, so copyright-free names here. So I play Leanne, who is my main character, but then I also jump in and out of Ginny, Frenchie, and Fleur Delacour, and yeah, and just like random like death buddies and things like that.
You have a nice red wig for Ginny.
It's certainly something.
Can't wait.
When you see it, you'll know.
Well, I have to wait 4 months for the April production, but you can watch it in Marrickville maybe, unless the season's done by the time I finish this video.
See it when you can.
But most importantly, come see Puffs.
Twisted.
Fuck me. We're tired.
It's getting there. It's been a day. Let's just everybody go to bed. Thanks
How
for
long is
coming.
this video, Slum?
Over 45 minutes. So
I
we're
think we're good.
I think we're good.
We did it.
We did it.
I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of us. Thank
We got
you.
there. Thank you.
And rain trying
I
to
know.
interrupt and
Yes.
so yeah. What note do you want to leave on? Come see Twisted.
Come see Twisted, please.
Page 9, forget about that. Rising
And support local artists. That's the biggest thing. I think not enough people come see community theatre, so do it. Pussy.
We're in the newest theatre in the Illawarra right now, the Forge.
Yeah.
Forge these nuts.
The fact that it's owned by my cousin and best female friend has nothing to do with me promoting it.
I'm going to cut you off now.
That's a good idea. I just remembered a lot of the other roles. Anyway.